Good morning, everybody. This is Dan with Pain Free You. Today I am coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm here for a 2-day workshop, and I can't be out in my backyard, so I'm shooting this from the hotel room. So welcome to Phoenix. Today I just wanted to talk about a common misconception about TMS, this distraction pain, and emotions. And I see a lot of people saying, how do I release my emotions? Do I have to express my emotions? Because I can't express my emotions at the person I'm mad at, because that would really blow up in my face. So there's a difference between feeling, releasing, and expressing. So feeling emotions is internal. My belief is that's all we have to do. That should be the proactive action that we take, is to define some type of a process that allows us to feel our emotions. And I believe that when we feel our emotions and allow them to be, and allow yourself to get angry, in a rage, sad, shame, guilt, fear, hurt, jealousy, envy, despair, whatever, if you can allow yourself to feel those emotions, once they've been felt, they kind of release automatically. So I've never seen a process described in a TMS expert's book or anything that says, all right, we're going to release our emotions. 1, 2, 3, release. Okay, there are visualizations, there's NLP, there's hypnosis, where we can kind of like visualize our anger as a balloon as we let it go, and it floats off into the distance, getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And those things can be very useful. But I don't believe they're absolutely necessary. So if you're not sure how to release emotions, focus on feeling them. Because if you can feel the emotions, they kind of release automatically. Now, some people say, I need to express my emotions. And again, expressing your emotions can have social consequences with your partner, with your family, with your kids, with your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your boss, your coworkers, whatever. So in order to get better, you don't have to express your emotions. There was a lot of stuff I was pissed off about when I was going through my pain battles. And I got better by feeling, not by this woo-woo releasing of emotions, and not by this outward expression of these emotions. I got better by feeling. So feeling emotions is internal. Releasing happens automatically, and expressing your emotions, especially if you're bottling them up and you're hanging on to them, or you're fighting them, and I don't want to deal with that. Expressing your emotions can sometimes be that outburst or that explosion of feelings, and that's when we kind of vent on the people around us. We just take it out on the people around us. Oftentimes undeservingly, but sometimes deservingly. Sometimes it is the people around us that are pissing us off. But what's required for you to get better is to feel your emotions. You don't have to vomit your emotions on everybody around you all the time to think you're going to get better, because inevitably the social consequences just create more and more negative emotions between you and those around you. So I wouldn't really focus too much on trying to figure out how to release the emotions. And I would certainly use a little bit of caution on expressing them. And there are absolutely, like I've said in previous videos, there are absolutely cases where an adult conversation is very much warranted. And in those cases, if you have given yourself the privilege of feeling the emotions first, they will naturally release. Then you can decide, okay, now that I've done that, I've kind of processed these emotions, I've resolved them. And I've resolved the fact and allowed myself to be pissed off or angry or in a rage or sad or grieving or whatever. Then you can decide, do I still need to have an adult conversation? Because if there are situations where somebody in your life or our lives are constantly creating these negative emotions, adult conversations can be very useful. But the first and foremost thing you should feel on is or focus on is feeling your emotions. That's your primary job. Everything else, releasing and expressing, whatever. Don't worry about that. Just focus on feeling. You're going to find that once you have a dedicated, consistent daily practice to feel your emotions, to sit with them and be with them, you're turning down the volume on your emotions and your stress level and your tension in your body. And that's exactly what we need to do to get better. We need to turn down the volume on the stress and the tension, this volume, this accumulation of unresolved emotions. And by doing that, you're going to start coming out of fight or flight and getting into what Nicole Sachs refers to as rest and restore, which is the body's natural state. And so if we can get out of fight or flight more often and start to allow our body to get into a more natural state of calm, that is when you can really start to see a great improvement, not only in your symptoms, but in the quality of your life, right? We want to evaluate and say, look, I'm really not in danger. You may feel that way, and a thought can trigger the fight or flight response really quickly, and your body doesn't know the difference. A thought about danger signals to your body you're in danger, and your body reacts to that. And if it's chronic, that's how this chronic state of tension can happen, and we get the pain and the symptoms and the autonomic nervous system change to create that. But then we become medicalized, as Dr. Schubner calls it, and we go to doctors, we get evaluated, we get drugs, we get injections, we get treatments, manipulation, massage, acupuncture, physical therapy, and even surgery, and none of these things work. You get the MRIs and the x-rays and the scans, and oh look, there's a problem, and before you know it, the medicalization gets us to believe truly that we're broken and that we're basically, for lack of a better word, we're screwed. This is my future. This is what's going to be going on in my life. And it doesn't have to be. Because first of all, doctors can't treat us because they're always trying to fix the body. And they can't fix the body because the problem originates in the autonomic nervous system in the brain, not the physical tissue of the back or the elbow or the shoulder or whatever's hurting. So none of those physical treatments have a chance at working. But yet, because we are led to believe that doctors know what they're talking about from the time we're kids, little kids, doctors know everything. Doctors are, who we go to when we're sick or when we're feeling bad. And we believe they're an authority figure. And unfortunately, the medical system does not teach them how to deal with chronic pain. Primarily because if Dr. Sarno's theories and this distraction pain theory and this overload of the autonomic nervous system theory were to ever really take hold and become widespread in the population, the pain management industry would kind of crumble. And, these are entire divisions and wings of these hospital corporations that are all about pain management and physical therapy practices. Yes, physical therapy is wonderful. If you have an accident, you break your leg, or a car accident, and you need to learn to walk again, perfect. But if you have low-grade back pain, physical therapy, in my experience, never worked. Has it worked for you? Let me know below. Has stretching worked for you? Has any of that stuff worked for you? I'd love to hear it. So again, how do I release or express my emotions so I can get better? You don't have to. Just feel them. They will release automatically. I did a video recently about treating your emotions like visitors. Allow them in. They will visit for a while. If your anger is really intense, they're going to visit for a while, right? But eventually, if you allow yourself to feel that anger, it will eventually leave or release on its own. And, if you lock the emotions in and cling to them, that's not going to help, because you're just holding on to that grudge and that resentment, and it's going to stew and burn inside you. And that is going to create this constant fight or flight anger. If you're having conversations with yourself in your head about what you should have said to the person who pissed you off 2 days ago, next time I see them, I'm going to say this, and boy, I really should have said that. And you're still having that debate. And as far as your body is concerned, you're still in that argument or that fight. And so it's no wonder that we've got this elevated state of fight or flight or stress hormones coursing through our body. Adrenaline and cortisol can be released by a simple thought, and it happens all the time. So the body absolutely responds physically to emotional events. And, being that I just traveled on a plane yesterday, it made me really think about people who are afraid of flying. And I've got a friend who literally makes herself physically sick because she freaks out about flying. She trembles, she sweats, she gets so nervous, her stomach is a mess. And she literally has physical symptoms of this stress overload because she's afraid of flying. So that's just one more indisputable example of how we have physical reactions to something like fear, right? Lack of control. So anyway, feel your emotions. You don't have to proactively release them. Expressing your emotions can be useful if you are in an adult conversation and can do it in a loving way and like, hey, look, this isn't working right now, and here's how I think we can improve this. We, not you. Don't place blame. And if somebody is very defensive and kind of always spins it around back at you, those adult conversations can be challenging. And even the thought of these adult conversations probably is making your stomach go a little bit like, oh, I really don't want to do that. You're getting tense just thinking about it. So you don't have to have adult conversations. You don't have to express your emotions on those around us. Just feel them deeply. I used Adam Heller's Zero Pain Now. Right now, what emotion am I feeling? I'm feeling anger. Right now, what emotion am I feeling? I'm feeling sadness. It's a wonderful process. And it was very productive for me because it got me out of story mode. It wasn't right now, what emotion am I feeling and why? I am feeling anger because Bob, son of a bitch, did this, that, and that. No, just I'm feeling anger, period. And then ask again, right now, what emotion am I feeling? Try it. Do that. Set aside a dedicated 15 to 30 minutes a day and just allow yourself to feel the emotions. And look, if you try it first time and you're like, I can't find them, just means they're well repressed, and you're going to have to convince your subconscious through repetition that you can deal with this. And so start with your conscious stuff, right? You're already aware that you're pissed off and upset and sad and hurt and ashamed and guilty about the pain, and so start there. But don't stop there. Keep going. And then keep going, and then keep going. Sometimes it takes days, weeks, months of a dedicated, committed practice to get yourself better. But the goal of this is to feel the emotions, convince your subconscious brain that the emotions are safe. And how do you do that? You feel them deeply, and yes, you're going to get worked up. But after you're done doing this process, do something that soothes you. Whether it be meditation, deep breathing, go take a walk, take a hot bath, watch a comedy, do something that brings you joy or meaning and makes you feel better emotionally, spiritually, whatever works for you. And basically your goal of this entire process is to feel your emotions and turn down the volume on your stress, your tension, and your fight or flight. Because you can tell if you're in a fight or flight mode. Things actually feel a little bit different when you're like, oh no, what's going to happen? Or, oh no, my pain. Oh no, I'm envisioning this future of pain. So we want to try to do whatever we can to get out of the fight or flight mode. Feel our emotions deeply, but do it calmly. Remind yourself, it's okay, Dan, you're safe. Say that, but use your name. It's okay, Dan, you're safe. It's okay, Dan, you're safe. Do that several times before you start feeling the emotions. Right now, what emotion am I feeling? You're going to find this stuff really is very calming. And after you're done feeling these emotions, your subconscious, if you do it consistently and repetitively, your subconscious is eventually going to learn that, wow, look at this. Dan is actually okay. He just felt all of these emotions that I've been trying to protect him from by distracting him. And he's still okay. As a matter of fact, look at that. He went for a walk outside and he's He's enjoying the nature and checking out the squirrels and the birds, and oh look, there's a deer somewhere. He's okay. And so maybe the brain will learn, not maybe, the brain will learn that there's nothing to protect you from as far as these emotions go. And if you can convince yourself that the body is sound and that all of the doctor's findings are faulty diagnoses because they really don't know what's causing the pain, then you can really get better. And feel your emotions. Don't worry about releasing. That happens automatically. Don't express your emotions because that's not required. Don't feel like you are compelled to have that conversation or argument or tell somebody that you're pissed off in order to get better. Look, sometimes that happens. There's stories out there of people who express their emotions with somebody that was very much causing a lot of negative emotions, and they did get better, but that's not required. So many people get better just by doing the internal work. And I will say, getting better from TMS, distraction pain, this overload of the autonomic nervous system, it's an inside job. And also evaluate the inner emotions, the self-judgments, the self-criticisms, the negative self-talk. I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't get to my emotions. Look, if you're saying to yourself every time you sit down to do this, I can't get to my emotions, I'm numb, I can't find them, I'm numb, you're ingraining that belief, and that's what you're going to get the next day. So just allow yourself. Start using words that I can. Reading a book on self-talk, and I'll do that. I'll cover that in a different video. But if you hear yourself saying, I can't, or I'll never be able to, you're literally giving your brain instructions. So pay attention to the words you say to yourself and to others. And frankly, what others say to you. And if somebody else around you is saying, this Sarno stuff's never going to work, this is bullshit, shh, go away. I'm doing this work. Don't ever say something like that to me again, because that's not helping you. They're giving you a belief system that's not yours. And, sometimes other people's comments, while they're trying to keep you realistic, can also keep us stuck. So the video is going on a little bit long here. Love you guys. You can get better. Feel your emotions. That's your only job. They'll release automatically. And turn down the volume on your stress levels, your tension levels, and get out of fight or flight. Do whatever you can to soothe yourself, and you will get better. So we will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, and appreciate you watching.